Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Just Another Autism Podcast. Today, I'm super pleased to welcome Kadin. Kadin has been an intern with Autism Speaks for a little while now, and he's a great interviewer, and he's going to be running this interview today. So, Kadin, take it away.
All right, thank you, Elaine. Today we have a guest who we recently spotlighted for the Hispanic Heritage Month. He's an accomplished guitarist based in Florida. And despite having autism, he's been able to really persevere. He is Ashton Almengor Fontanez. Sorry if I butchered that. Thanks for coming on, Ashton.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, my first question for you is tell us a bit about yourself.
20 years old. I'm been into guitar for 4 years. I've been interested in trains my entire life, and I've been actually performing, first in church, and then performed at the Autism Speaks walk this year.
Oh, that's awesome. So, my next question for you is how do you think autism helps you when you perform?
That I would say that now that I don't really focus on people. I don't focus on like people looking at me and stuff like I usually think about something else rather than the performance. Like I would just think about me in a room just by myself performing at my best, and I would just basically just go around doing my thing and just don't not have to worry about what others have to think about me.
That's amazing. As a musician myself, I've honestly stopped caring what others think of me when I perform. It's just me, the music, and no one else. So I definitely love that perspective. My next question for you is what stigmas have you or your family experienced in the Hispanic community as a Hispanic family dealing with an autism diagnosis?
The general like there's not going to be any care, and there's not going to be enough care for us, or like if you know there's I don't think it's going to be enough for us, and just the general, there's nothing anything too specific. It's just what everyone else has been talking about.
That's definitely amazing, and I can totally relate to there not being enough resources and having capabilities questioned, especially given recent news. So I love how you were able to overcome those stigmas, which leads to my next question. Simply, this is Hispanic Heritage Month at the time of recording. What does Hispanic Heritage Month mean to you?
For me, because I am from a Hispanic family, to me, Hispanic Heritage Month, people generalize about tacos and sombreros, which I totally get that. I totally definitely get that. I would just say it's just like any other holiday. Spend time just spend time with family, just having a good old time. And if you do, just spend time. Now that Hispanic Heritage Month is here, I just spend just do everything I do to spend time with my family and to overall have a good time, just like every other gathering.
That brings up a really good point. I really respect that in our society. You're absolutely right. People associate Hispanic Heritage Month with what they see in movies and in other forms of media. Yeah, like you mentioned, the tacos, the sombreros, the mariachi music, that kind of thing, and all that's well and good, but you're absolutely right. Holidays like this are about family, same as any other holiday. Which leads to my next question. How has your family supported you throughout your autism journey?
Well, it's been because with like my childhood, before, I have been, really having a hard time being myself because of what others thought about me. But my family, we sort of talked about it. We talked about it a little bit, and we actually, we go to places that I like, and we, go out to eat. Sometimes now we don't do it anymore, but like they would just tell me to not think to not like they would basically, I would say, basically try to get my mind off of the world and just stick to just what I do best. And now that I'm a Christian, you know, sometimes, I would say not very often though, but like now I'm into Christ, and my family's been part of me getting into Christ, especially my dad, because he's been into that his whole life. And so that's what basically has been supporting me throughout my autistic journey.
That's amazing. I have a similar support system, and they told me something along the lines of what your family told you. Don't focus necessarily on what society will think. In fact, a lot of people in society don't necessarily care what you're going through. They just care that you're a good person. It's really that simple. My next question for you is, as a Hispanic autistic individual, how do you think organizations, whether that be Autism Speaks or general special education class, can offer more resources for autistic individuals in the Hispanic community? Specifically, what can they do to ensure Hispanic individuals with autism get what they need?
Basically for me, now that I'm autistic, the accommodations part is good and all. It's really, really great. I've been getting them my all my years throughout school. Now that I'm in college now, I still get them though. But what I would say for Hispanic people with autism, to me, I would definitely say to not respect, not, not treat, not to treat Hispanics, autistic Hispanics like not to treat them like any other Pacific person. Um, Resources, however, hmm, well, I mean, the ESOL classes and no, as translators, especially for those who can't really speak English. So I would definitely say more like translators, more people that can understand their needs, and that could encourage them throughout their time in school.
That's a really good idea. Yeah, and I have something to show our audience here. Autism Speaks actually has a variety of resources for Hispanic individuals specifically. Let me pull that up here. How Hispanic resources help bilingual families. For example, one of the most notable ones we have is the Manual de los 100 Days Kit. This is a version of the 100 Days of Diagnosis Kit. It provides you all different resources, but it's in Spanish. That way, there's no language barriers. This is just one of the many resources that Hispanic individuals who just got diagnosed as being autistic, or their families who may not know what to do about an autism diagnosis, This is a resource among many others that these people can utilize to ensure that their child can live a prosperous and fulfilling life. Which leads to my next question for you. What's your advice to anyone who's neurodivergent, autistic, and is not sure what they're going to do?
I would say my advice would be to just just to be yourself. Don't really focus on the general aspect of what people think, and to just think outside the box. Just don't you don't aim for just basically what you're comfortable with. Try to get out of your comfort zone a little bit. If it makes you feel uncomfortable, that's actually going to make you stronger. Actually, it's going to help make you think more critically. It's going to help you really strive for what's best. And really, it's just going to make you stand out from the world, from other individuals.
That's a great piece of advice. I've done a lot of interviews for various platforms, and I always ask that question, and you probably gave one of the best answers I've heard, because it's true. Differences are what make society amazing. My last question for you is, what does the future hold for you? Are there any performances that you want to plug, or any projects that you want to talk about? Could we see an album from you in the future?
um, I don't know about that one. I mean, the only problem I have is that I don't really have the equipment and all. I mean, I could try on my phone, but that might take a lot. um, but I do plan to perform next year at the Autism Speaks Walk again. Um, I do plan to perform possibly at the South Florida Fair, hopefully next year. But that I have to wait for confirmation on that. But I would just say, just now that I'm a Christian and my belief is in God, I would just say whatever opportunity I try to go into, God's going to handle that for me. And he's going to let me know if it's best for me or not.
That's a great way to live. That's honestly the joy of life. You take what you give. Anyways, that's going to do it for this episode of Just Another Autism Podcast. Guys, thank you so much to Elaine for letting me take over, and for Ashton for coming on to Sarah's story. If you guys want to see more amazing interviews, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Autism Speaks channel, where this podcast is located. Listen on Spotify and wherever you get your podcast consumption. And for more information on the Hispanic resources, go to autismspeaks.com. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and we'll see you in the next one.